Hello there everyone, welcome to a new drugstore video. It is me, Desiree, and we are here to discuss some drugstore cream blushes. I have 5 here. They're all described and marketed a little differently, but for the sake of a category, I'm going to call them all cream blushes. So I'm going to run through the ones that I have, the brand, the color, I'll swatch it, discuss the pros and cons, which one's the best, which ones you should pass on, and my personal opinions on all of these. And I don't love any of these. But let me start discussing them, shall we? So the first one here is the Covergirl Clean Fresh Cream Blush in the shade Ripe and Ready. I talked about this in a video already. I hate this one. It's a beautiful, beautiful color. I wish it worked. So it does say it is vegan and cruelty-free. It has no talc, parabens, formaldehyde, phthalates, sulfates, fragrance, or mineral oil. And it comes in a squeezy tube. And I'm going to swatch it right here for you. Oh my god, it's so pretty. So this is what the shade looks like. It is beautiful, right? This one is nearly impossible to get to look good on your skin because it dries so fast. By the time you put the lid back on this and you get your brush and you're like putting your brush into your skin, like blending it around, it's dried up. I've tried it with my fingers, like patting it like this, and it dries so quickly on your face that like wherever you put your brush or your fingers first, it's gonna leave that exact like design, like the shape of your fingers are gonna be like this, and you could try to rub it in, blend it out with the brush, sponge, fingers, nothing, it works, nothing works. I don't like this one at all. It says no mineral oil, but maybe they should have put some oil in it or something, because it's just not, it's really, really, really hard to blend. And now that I say that, I wonder if it would look nice as an eyeshadow, like a cream eyeshadow, because it sets so fast. This one I don't have a ton to say about. I have discussed it in a video already, but this is one I would not recommend really for anybody. I don't think it's just a really frustrating cream blush to use. There's definitely better out there, and this is not one of them. The next one is the Physicians Formula Organic Wear Dewy Blush Elixir. This is the shade Pink Berry. And this one just looked appealing to me, and this isn't a brand I normally love, but look at this jar and the pump and the shade. It just looked great, so I wanted to try it out. And if you're wondering why I'm not going to try one of these on for you today, it's because I don't like any of them. I don't like the finish of any of these. I don't like the way they look on my face. I don't like the way they go on top of makeup. I don't like them, so I don't want to apply them. I'm sorry, because I don't like them very much. This is another shade that looks, oh my god, it's beautiful. It's like a soft baby pinky color, but it has like a warmness to it that is just, I am doing heavy swatches here so you can see the shade a lot, but it's a really, really, really pretty color. As you can see, it's just, it's so pretty. I wish you worked. This is probably one of the ones that I was the most disappointed in. I think it's because I was the most excited to try it. But this is frustrating for me to use, as are all of these, because they're not what I want them to be. Maybe they are exactly what they are supposed to be. But when it says Dewy Blush Elixir, it's exactly that. It is dewy as heck. So I've tried to put this on with my fingers, with the brush, and then also with the sponge. I use the same kind of application the whole time, every time with these. I pump some out of my hand. I usually pump out a little bit more, and then I blend it around a little bit, get the sponge or brush or my fingers, and then I try to pat it in quickly on my face. I have tried this, as well as all of these other ones, on top of makeup and on bare skin and on skin that just has concealer, and I get the same result every time, except it looks worse when it's on top of makeup, because with all of these, they all remove your makeup. All of them do. They're just too wet and too watery. I don't know how to use this formula or make it work for me. It's just too wet. And they never dry into the skin. The only one that does dry down is the Covergirl one. Like, it'll dry sick into your skin. The other ones all stay like they look wet on your face. And not in a nice, like, oh, look at that nice healthy dew on my skin. But like a wet spot. So wherever your blush is at, like right here, it's very obvious that you put something there that was too wet because it's blotching off all the makeup underneath. And I can't get any of these to really apply evenly either. Like, there's not enough pigment to them, and they're just too watery. I just don't like this texture for blush at all. So to get it to be even on my skin is almost impossible. But the shade is really pretty. But this one is just, it looks bad. I don't like it. It almost looks like a slick piece of plastic film I put on my face, but it's just in this exact spot of where I put it. And the rest of my face is either, you know, matte or satin or dried down or whatever it is. And then there's this big, oddly looking plastic wet sheet right here with a tiny bit of color. Like, it's not even enough color or beautiful enough to want to make it work. It's just like weird, and I just don't enjoy it. Same thing with this. I was so excited to try this. The Maybelline Cheek Heat Sheer Gel Cream Blush. This is the shade Coral Ember. Another freaking beautiful one. So this one does have a little bit of a different texture than the other one did, than the Physicians Formula. It's not as watery. It says it's a cream gel, and that's really what it feels like. It feels like a gel. And this is probably one of the... I don't like any of these, but I want to say this is probably one of the worst ones for me. This one is so hard to get to look even. And it also dries down very similar to this, which is, it doesn't. It stays wet and like a weird plasticky film. I just don't like the finish of this. And then it does say it's a sheer color, which I expected. I wasn't expecting it to be bright orange or coral like the tube. I was expecting a lighter wash of color, which is totally fine. That's what it's supposed to do. It would be nice, though, if the sheer wash was even, because it goes on so streaky. And it does remove the makeup underneath. Use this on your bare skin only unless you know how to put this on top of makeup, but I can't imagine it working that way. But, like, to put it on with the brush. So I had been using... Where's the brush I was using? Of course, I can't find it now. It's an EcoTools... Oh, this one. I had been using this EcoTools Precision Highlight Brush because I thought the brush or the sponge was the issue, not the product. So I started using a really like light dabbing motion like this instead of like a blending motion, or a stippling brush was probably the worst idea for any of these. But so I started using a softer brush and kind of just patting it like this. And I got the best application I possibly could with this brush, and just a slight, taking my time blending it in and not putting too much product right away, because it was just, I felt like it was too wet and it was removing my makeup too quickly. So that's the best application I got, but you could very clearly see where I had worn down foundation. And then the color, I can't get it to be even. Like, it goes on streaky. Like, as you can see, there's like a line here of darkness, and right next to it's kind of sheared out. That's how it goes onto my face as well. Even if I use that brush, like some little parts will get more color than others. It's just another really frustrating thing to use. I get the best result possible on no makeup skin, and then this blush with that brush, it looks more natural and I guess a little more even, but still then I see it all the time, all day, and I'm like, it doesn't look right. I just don't like it. And then the last two here, I have the Milani Cheek Kiss Liquid Blush in the shade Cheeky Coral. And this is one of the ones that does say liquid. The dewy, it said elixir. This one was a gel cream. That one was a cream. This one is a liquid. And then this one is color drops. So they all describe themselves a little differently. The Milani one feels a lot like... Which one does this feel like the most? It feels like a little thicker version than the Maybelline. Like this one feels less liquid than any of the other ones, even though it describes itself as liquid. I had this one on the other day on bare skin, and I could just see how streaky it was. I don't know why it's so streaky. I can't get these to work. I'm sorry. I was trying it with the same brush, same kind of technique, just kind of dabbing it, making sure the brush was like, it's just too much work to use these, for me anyway. Like dabbing in the brush and making sure there aren't like big blobs on here, because then once I touch my skin, that's where the big blob's gonna be. So making sure the brush is like even, dabbing it. It took a really long time to brush it in, and it was just very obvious I had cream blush on, and it just didn't look good. I just can't get behind this idea. I don't know what it is. And then the last one is the Flower Beauty Blush Bomb Color Drops for cheeks. So they all have a different description of themselves, but I feel like they're all generally the same. Who's outside? This is how this one looks. It's very nude. This one actually feels very similar to the Milani. More of like a I don't know, it's definitely not a liquid, just say colored drops. This is one that honestly goes on probably the most even of all of these, but then again, just on bare skin. This doesn't go on well on top of makeup because it does remove the makeup underneath. It does like kind of pick up whatever you had here, and like very obvious that you had a liquid that you put on, that you tried to blend around. But it does have the most even color to it. So when I do wear this on bare skin or just concealer type of skin, it is the one that looks the best because it does go on the most even. But it doesn't look good on top of makeup. I don't know what it is about these. I can't get behind them. The best cream blushes I ever used were the Maybelline. I have them right here. They're very, very old, I know. Master Glaze. Best cream blushes ever. Also, the Dream Bouncy blushes were the best cream blushes ever. Why they got rid of those for this, I have no idea. But these are my favorite. I don't know if it's just the formula I don't like. I can't get behind these. I don't like the way they look very much. If you have any of these and you've used them and I'm using them wrong, I have used a dry sponge, damp sponge, my fingers. I've tried them on bare skin, makeup skin. I've tried the brush. I can't get them to look very good on my skin. And especially on top of makeup, they're a total no-go for me. So let me know what you think about these blushes or any other cream blushes that you've used that you think are amazing. If you think these are amazing and I'm using them wrong, let me know. I'm totally open to that, to trying them again. But that's it for now. Let me know what you think. I really want to know your opinion on these blushes. And that's it. Thanks for watching this video. I know it wasn't the most positive, but they're not all going to be gems, right? But that's it. Thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you tomorrow for another one. Bye.